Revenue was pretty flat. However, from an operating profit point of view, we're up 34% to 150 million rand, and that's testimony to the cost-saving initiatives that we put in place last year, and also the restructuring. What we also did, we built a separate brand around our services business under Inveserve, and that's definitely paying off for us.
In terms of your revaluation of assets, sitting at 544 million rand from 106 million rand the previous year, give us some insights into what was revalued.
Out of the 544 million rand in that number, 165 of it was actually dividends received from our underlying investments. So a really strong performance from investments on that side. That's more in particular for life healthcare. And then the other numbers really are the improvement in performance in ABSA and also in life healthcare itself.
You're trading at a 9.8% discount to your net asset value, which has of course been one of the big issues with Mvelapanda Group, and of course it is looking much better than what we saw the previous year, which was at a 24% discount. Do you plan to make more headway on this front, and do you think you can get it closer to zero?
Yeah, geez, I mean, we've gone a long way in trying to close that discount, and I think what we're putting our shoulders to the wheel on right now is making sure that that actually it goes to zero in terms of our own numbers, because we want to realize for shareholders the full intrinsic value of our assets.
You're saying that you can realize that zero level and of course create more value for shareholders. Does that mean you're going to be doing away with the unbundling process, or have the efforts that you've put towards the unbundling process has assisted you in getting the discount level lower?
Not necessarily. The reason why we're actually accelerating a lot of our efforts around the realization process, it's so that we could get that number to zero. So it's the efforts to date that's actually making that number actually decline. It's not because we necessarily are being cleverer. It's just that we're actually saying all we want to do is just realize the right value for shareholders.
Some of the investors I've spoken to say that you have a very strong pool of assets, a good pool of assets, and some feel that you are bailing out in the 11th hour. How do you respond to that?
That's a nice view. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, I mean, when we looked at where we are in terms of our assets and the evolutions of the company as well, the first thing that we must actually acknowledge is that the reason for being, which was our old way of existing, is no longer relevant. It was around BEE, it was BE discounts and things like that, and that's not really relevant. And when we looked at the future and said, how do we expand going forward? I mean, we couldn't exactly use funding that is available to everyone because of the restrictions that we have in our current pool of assets. So while we will go through an unbundling process, it is not an unbundling process that will see us actually have a fire sale. We announced it in September last year, and we still haven't announced anything yet. So we're doing it in a very considered fashion and over a period of time. We've committed to a 3-year period, and that's what we're in for.
You've got a group of companies that have performed quite well, looking at Mvelapanda Group 5, ABSA of course coming under pressure, but still the company says things will look better from here, your life division as well. But you've also had companies that haven't been performing as well, such as Vox Telecom and of course Avusa. Tell us about the play between the two groups of companies, the ones that perform well and the ones that have been under pressure.
I mean, the stellar performance, definitely life healthcare, definitely Inveserve. ABSA was under a bit of pressure in this current financial year, but we believe that they will weather the storm quite nicely. They've managed to actually stay at good valuations, and we believe that will go forward. Group 5 has consistently actually performed above what the market averages are, and we like those businesses. Businesses that haven't performed for us are Vox Telecom. Obviously, the internet connect issue has had a material impact on that business, as well as the Dealstream debacle from a couple of years ago. So if you combine that, obviously there are issues within the business, but the business still trades profitably, and there's still scope for that business to actually participate in a more innovative sort of environment. And then Avusa, which is it really has struggled as a result of the soft advertising revenues that are coming through.
Inveserve has, of course, outperformed all the other divisions of your company, operating profits up 34% for that division. What do you plan to do with Inveserve during the unbundling process? Are we going to see it being listed as a separate company? Is Envela Group going to just be focusing on Inveserve? What plans do you have exactly? Are you perhaps going to be selling the company?
That's the secret that we're holding up for shareholders.
And when are you planning to release news on that?
No, I mean, our announcement from last year said we'll definitely announce something in H2 of this year, and we still plan to do that.